Why don't you come on down to Mantique's and meet some friends of mine?
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Live at Mantique's with me, Diego. This episode, I have Miss Wanda Houston with me. It's going to be a good one. I have a good
Hi,
feeling
Diego.
about this
Oh,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you.
It's good. Yeah, it's good
I
to
know.
see you too. I haven't seen you.
I know, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw you was for the Respect, the Aretha Franklin.
I think it was. Or was it that Christmas thing we did?
Oh yes, the Christmas. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
the Christmas on Thursday. Oh, it was after Thanksgiving. That's what it
Yeah.
was. That's right. That was a year ago, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been. Wow. So much has happened.
So much. a whole lot has happened.
A whole lot has
Yeah.
happened. Oh, my goodness.
So yeah, here on Live at Mantique's with Diego, I like to bring in guests that really inspire me. So I had to bring you on the show.
Oh, well, thank
Yeah,
you.
you have an amazing voice. So
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to jam on a tune a bit later.
All right,
So,
yeah.
cool.
We're
So,
gonna do-
how did you get into music?
Wow. How did I get into music? Well, my mother is a singer. My mother sings and was a choir director, and my father is an actor and had a theater in Chicago. So, and I'm the firstborn, so I had no choice. I was dipped in it. So, and I thought that everybody did music like that. I thought everyone just did that. You know, it was just natural in my family that and everybody sang. And then my cousins and my grandmother, my great grandmother was a piano player. I mean, everyone had music. So there was music all around all the time. So it was just natural for me to progress into when I went into school. Although I have to say, my parents were very, specific about this. Get something you can fall back on, because the music thing and the art thing, it's great, but it doesn't always.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, I'll be a chemist.
That sure is different than music.
Yeah, it is. Well, not as much as you would think.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixing up.
There's a lot of crossover, and in fact, when I did eventually leave chemistry and went to music and started studying music, when the how theory works and how music works, when it connected in my head, the periodic table made sense to me. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, wow, that's it. So you can see there's all these, and string theory, you get into this, that's how anyway, I'll stop. But that's how I got into music.
That's great, yeah. So just over the last year, we've been in a pandemic, for those of you that don't know that.
Under rocks.
Yeah, the people that live under rocks.
Yes.
And don't know that we're in
The
a pandemic.
rock people.
What have you done over the last year in terms of musically? Have you been doing shows, staying busy?
Yeah, in a very interesting way. I mean, one of the first things we did was one of those recordings. That we all recorded and we did it all separate, and there's a term for that. What is that called when you do them all separate? And anyway, we did one of those, a couple of those, and then when people started really getting how this is working, then there were more Zoom things and just ways that we found ways to get together and do our music in that way over online. And then I have to say, I mean, those first couple of months, I was in fight or flight mode. I was in some kind of mode where wasn't sure what was going on. It felt very uncertain, and I didn't know what was going to happen next. So, but it took a while, and then unfortunately, a very dear friend of mine passed away in May, and I ended up staying with his wife to help settle their estate, and that was very strange. But little by little, things started. When Tanglewood canceled their season, then there were these people who had tanglewood. They were like, let's do stuff in the backyard, and they got these ideas of just putting tanglewood in their backyards.
That's great.
That was so much fun, and we just, we were doing all these outdoor concerts, and it saved us. I mean, it really helped keep us all together, and you come up with new things and new ideas of how to do things. It was brilliant. So
I know when my first show after the pandemic started, it was in like late June. So I'd gone like 4 or 5 months without playing a show, which is very foreign to me.
Wasn't that weird?
It was so weird.
Wasn't it? It was very strange coming back.
Yeah, it was so, and yeah, no, it was just unbelievable. Just it was like there's people here, and going from doing like live stream shows, because I know I started doing live stream shows with Misty Blues, and they were one of the first bands to really start like just hitting the live stream shows right. It was like the week that it shut down. It was they lost their gig at Firefly, so they were like, let's go upstairs and we'll do a show there, and we started doing that. But then we did like 30 weeks worth of those shows, and it was like, oh.
How weird was that first? Have you finished that first song?
And there's
nothing.
It
was like, oh. Okay.
You're playing like right out. You're just playing like as hard as you can, just like giving it your all, and then boom. Oh,
that was like, I'm telling you, and you realize how much you rely, even timing wise, and how you do things on that response. And that's when you realize how much you miss, how important the audience is.
Draw from them.
Yes.
You could have like a small audience, something like only like 15, 20 people, but if they're all actively engaged,
you'll kill it for them, for just that. That doesn't matter, but it's that energy. It's that. It's called, it's not symbiotic, but there's a cyclical thing that happens between audience and players. And I think a lot of audience people don't realize how vital they are to the performance. Sometimes people sit back with their arms folded, and it's like, if you don't give, we can't, But that was the biggest thing with the epidemic for all of us musicians, I bet.
Yeah.
Like,
so all of you audience members out there, remember that you are important, and we do appreciate you.
Yes, we do. And we
sit
miss
like
you.
this.
We miss you. Yeah, don't
engage.
join in.
All right. Okay. So you've played with a lot of like really like major like names, and could you talk a bit about some of the people you've played with?
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, a lot of it started even before I was doing my work full time. I mean, I was living in LA, and I was in a group called the Friends of Christ Singers, and this was back in the day when everyone who's putting albums out had to have a big black choir behind them. Joining in at some point. And so I was in one of those big black choirs. And so we did things with, oh my goodness, well, you're gonna make me pull stuff out of my brain. What's her name? When she had just started, what's her name? Oh, my brain. She sings, and the life will go on and on. The Titanic. Who did the?
Celine Dion. Thank you.
We did a video with her. Did one with You Are So Beautiful. Joe Cocker. That was fun because I thought that he had a palsy or something was going on. Because he did this whole.
Yeah, you see like the footage from him,
right.
Like Woodstock. And
So, and I'm like, what is going on there? Yeah. So when I met him, oh, right, very nice to meet you. I was like, you're not, what? Hello, very nice to meet you. I was like, who is he? So Joe Cocker and I can only, my brain is so palsy. Talk about palsy. What's his name? The one who sings. Everyone I meet someone, never gonna have some fun.
Oh, Rick Astley? Yeah.
Rick Astley, thank you. This one was really fun. It was probably like the last one I did before I left LA. And we were out on a dried riverbed. And I still haven't seen this video yet, but we had to do all these different shots, and there was like this bed out in the middle, and he drove, when the bus was coming in, he drove next to us in his convertible, and we were all like waving at him, and then we got out and put robes on with bare feet and jumped all around and passed the baby around. It was weird. It was weird, let me tell you, but this is what they were doing.
That's great.
Yeah, so those are a few. I mean, then Barbara Streisand, I got to do a thing with her when I got to New York, because she was on that tour, what do you call that tour? It was the Forever Timeless tour, and we were at Radio Madison Square, and I just wanted to be on the stage. I didn't care like what we were singing, what we had to do, and I had my Barbara moment when she came over to my side of the stage, and I just looked at her and went, and she went back at me. Barbara moment.
That's great.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it's fun. So quite man, I tell you, you start looking back over your life and you go, who would have thunk?
Yeah.
You know, so it's great, yeah. So there's a few.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'd like to play some music. Would you care to jam on a tune with me?
Am I just going to? I would love to listen with you.
All right.
Sure, I'll sing a tune with you. Diego, come
just
on.
listen to me.
Could you play a few things? I'll just sit
right.
with my arms folded.
Yeah. All right. We will be right back.
I love it.
And we're back, and we're going to play some music for you. What tune are we playing?
I think we should do a tune that's timeless, and it's been done a million times over. I learned this tune actually at my great-grandmother's knee, and then sang it through high school and everything else. And then Ava Cassidy did this really cool version of it that's got this wonderful bass line, Wade in the Water.
All right.
Right? Everybody knows it. We're going to do it.
All right, let's hit it.
Oh yeah. Why don't you wade in the water? Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, see that girl all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. Looks like the children of the Israelites. God is gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. See, God's gonna trouble the water. See that child all dressed in red. God's gonna trouble the water. It looks like the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Come on and wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, see that boy dressed in blue. God's gonna trouble the water. Looks like the children that's coming through. God's gonna trouble the water. Won't you wade in the water? Wade in the water, children. Come on and wade in the water. See, God's gonna trouble the water. Come and wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. See, God's gonna trouble the water. See now, God's gonna trouble the. Oh, come on now, God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, God's gonna trouble the. God's gonna trouble the water.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was
Those are
great.
good, yeah.
Yay.
Great. It's almost like we've done that tune.
It was like we've done it before.
Right.
I mean, who would have known?
All right. This has been a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
Wanda Houston, everyone. We hope to see you next time. Good ciao.
Why don't you come on down to Mantique's and meet some friends of mine?